Okay, and yes, twice in one day. Although this one, I'm not going to bother with the Fortnite this time around. Okay, save that for later when everything's over with. Okay, and brief recap on why we're doing this thing. We're in a bit of a pickle financially because we are on the cusp of being able to get into our own apartment, but the hotel we're at, despite previous assurances made to our caseworker and about how much was covered, instead of covering the entire month, they're only covered technically yesterday, and we're having to shell out of our own pocket to cover it, and our pockets are not very full at the moment. Middle of the month is the worst time for this sort of thing. So we are soliciting contributions here. PayPal link is down below. That's the best way right there. And we just need to make it through. Hopefully till Monday, they get back in the office and see what's going on here. Then I gotta do something about this. This is getting ridiculous. Because Easter holiday, it's like everyone's gone. Went to the hills. So any pleas I was sent out to the official channels through Friday didn't get heard. So we need to be able to make it through till Monday at least. I might possibly be getting paid through YouTube on Wednesday, but again, that's only $100 and it's still a little late in the game. And the change in management here is like they ain't gonna play games. Once upon a time, they let you slide for a couple days as long as you're sure you're gonna get paid. But now it's like no, they will boot us out in this heartbeat. So, all right.
Yeah, the new management.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, no trolls, nobody trying to shut things down. Let's get to the subject in here. Just got through binging the season 2 of Space Force. So it's like, is it still good? Yes, it's still a very good show. And like they kind of pick up. It's like a few months after where they left last season, where you got a U.S. team on the moon and a Chinese team on the moon, and they both kind of screwed each other bases of the thing. It's like, okay, now they're both screwed, and the Air Force Chief of Staff comes in and orders the U.S. team to attack the Chinese base. And General Naird, played by Steve Carell, refuses. And then he gets hauled off. And pick up a few months later when it's time for the Board of Inquiry. And, of course, in reflecting a little real-life thing, it's like there has been a change of administration. So a new Secretary of Defense. And after all the questions, yes, Rose back. Okay. So, after some rather screwball testimony, which initially looks like they're dead, they're going down in flames. No, it turns out they all, in the end, end up singing General Naird's praises. So, and considering that the order to attack the Chinese base was, let's say, ill-advised. Would have started World War III with China. It's like the Air Force Chief of Staff is basically asked to retire now with full honors and leave. It's like General Naird is retained as commander of Space Force, but on a very short leash. Their budget is cut in half. There. And they got 5 months and they get their butts in gear, or they're gonna fold back into the Air Force and someone else will be putting back in command. So during the sequence of the whole process of them trying to cut back budget responsibility, but then the government then just goes out with a hatchet, and it's like they lose the Mars mission, even though the astronaut is already on his way. Usually that's kind of like we're kind of committed here. What this is going to do is poor schmuck up there. Patton Oswalt is the astronaut, and he's up there, and they're afraid to tell him that the mission's been cut. I can't wait to get to Mars. Yeah, okay, but keep it up. Okay. So, at one point he gets into a talk with the general's daughter, who's working as an intern there. Just in a human voice, the doctor please. It's like, and just watch her eat real food, and just something to change from drinking his own urine for a while. That you've been drinking your own urine. He's out of supplies. his heart apparently has shrunk a little bit, but pretty a sad sight up there. But he's so proud to be going to Mars. It's like, oh God. So, but yeah, the steam Tawny Newsom's character, Captain Angela Ali, she's the big hero thing. She's having trouble dealing because it wasn't just going to the moon. I mean, they almost died. They were both Chinese and American were both almost left to die on the moon for political points, and it's like that's getting through her. So she's now suddenly developed claustrophobia because they get There's one episode later on where apparently the Russians hacked the system somehow and shut everything down, and they came up with an idea to try and get them to turn things back on by making them do a little play acting. Because I figured the Russians are listening. They haven't disabled that much. So make it sound, oh my God, we got to get control of this satellite, or it's going to crash and kill millions of people with the dirty plutonium core. After a few minutes of this, everything comes back on. But just to add insult to injury, it's like as they're trying to get the computer to get their Windows, they run Windows, and so it's an automatic reboot, and they're updating. It's at the wrong damn time when they're trying to get control of the satellite. So John Malkovich's character, Dr. Mal, has to break out a slide rule and do the calculations on pen and paper. All right, this could be right to the way. Here we go. Oh, okay, it's done. And they get that and flying them, by remote with the standard key commands of your video games, ASWD keys. It's and Captain Ali, who's been thinking about leaving Space Force because she just can't handle all the attention of being the hero, and it just the power cut out there. She was stuck in an elevator and started freaking out. It's like, how do you be an astronaut and be claustrophobic? This just came on because she's been melting down here. And as she everything finally settles down, they come back on. She steps in because I forget the one scientist name, the Chinese guy. Can't quite get the hang of flying. She has to step in and okay, and she's a pilot. You get the thing back into orbit, and so they manage to get a save there, and just in time for the meeting with the DoD secretary and all the joint ends. Okay, all right, you got your raises. He was fighting. Look, the morale was crap. At least give them a raise, because they had frozen all the pay along with the budget cuts, and so they're working with. At one point they're trying to sponsorship with an energy drink company, try and get some funding in that way, with sponsoring a BattleBot, competition. And it's very good. It's very engaging characters. It's very well written. And I was afraid when this thing first came out that they're going to make a big joke of a Space Force. And no, they definitely made a point of making a pretty good case for having it and why you would need a Space Force, a military Space Force. Even though during this one they were given some really crap positions, like they're supposedly working with NASA on the Europa probe. Only NASA's taking the lion's share of the whole thing, and Space Force is tasked with the point of doing a PowerPoint presentation to one of their bigger backers. Is an old senator. He's been there since the '52 when the space program first started with NACA. He's like 102. He's still but his concern is what happens if there's alien invasions and they have to fight aliens. They can't be persuaded. He's also a bit of a flat earther, I think I recall. And so they have to come up with a PowerPoint presentation to convince them that they have a plan in case of alien attack. And just go with it, please. Just do it, okay? Humor the old man. He's one of our biggest backers. So I'm going to make sure this thing comes off, and he doesn't have us folded back into the Air Force. So, and during that, a prank war breaks out, and they get some pretty inventive pranks on there. Unfortunately, they pull one on General Nair just as he's talking to the Secretary of Defense on the phone, on the video call, and that's again, but he gets him back real good. I'm not going to say how. He gets him back. I was like, after getting the satellite back in orbit, and she tells him she's leaving. She's got, okay, well. But he hands her a letter before she starts starting, and read it at your leisure. After she says her piece, and she's kind of surprised he doesn't start. You did a great job in the moon transit, and said, if I said all that, will it make any difference? And because it's understood, yeah, you did a good job. You were. And she's reading the letter. Because of her, conduct, she's been promoted to major. So yeah. After saying she would have her letter of resignation on his desk by the end of the day, the next day comes around and he comes in. I don't have your letter of resignation. It's Major Ali. Okay, that's all it needs to know. She's staying. There's one point where the scientist gets offered a job at SpaceX, and Dr. No, you should take it. It's a good job. You'll get, and walking down the hall, cussing out Elon Musk's name. It's like, the thing. Hope your electric car electrocutes you. But even then, everyone decided, let's stick around. Because he was impressed with the fact that I break out a slide rule and figured out these calculations in no time and not relying on the computer. So, I've still got a lot to learn here. So, they can find somebody else in space. The computer jockey over there. And there's also a plot line running about the general's daughter, and they're trying to get her into Colorado College. And yes, there's a real college out here. But also, she was very honest, and they were very impressed with her character. But the fact that she was honest, I said that she's not ready for college. Sorry, General, your well laid out plan for your daughter is not going to land. You got to take a skip here, That's why she's interning at Spaceport and decides she's going to work for the Forestry Service, which is headquartered out here. And they're supposedly set out here. So, she's staying in Colorado for a while. She doesn't have their favorite place, but hey, family's still here. And there her mom's in Canyon City. I forget what she was charged with. I think, attacking a lobby. I don't know what it would do. But it's a good show. Give it a watch. I hardly recommend it. And any questions from the peanut gallery here? All two of you. For given enough time, somebody's going to show. We only about 15 minutes, so this is early days here. So all right. This gets too boring. I'll break up the karaoke stuff. Okay, so let's try and get a conversation going here. Let's see if we can get on here. And so far, nobody has even bothered to respond to the invites. Now, this is a critic. I'm still sending Doomcock invites here, even though it's not in the same place we were before here. And I know it is because of Mexican Iron Man and that situation there, but for the purpose of his chats, he has to stay on his good side, I guess, because he does bring a certain level of experience and expertise on that. So okay, whatever. What do I do? What do I bring in? So I got 3 people watching, and I'm ready. Open the floor up for discussion here. Doomcock has never come on the show. No, I don't know what his schedule is, what his availability is. I just send the invite, and if it happens, it happens. Same with everybody, really. Most of the people think I have no freaking clue if they're even awake. Okay. A couple of them, I think, are actually streaming on their own. I sent it to Rob Shlomo. And I think he's actually doing What the Dub on his, which normally I'd be over there all over, but hey, got to get some bills paid somehow, which means standing here and doing the tap dance routine. Hello, my darling. How many? Yeah. Now let's see. Shall I fire up Fortnite and we, doing a little bit of grinding?
Oh God, no.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm now blocked on the chat on Doomcock's channel. So I don't even go on the live streams anymore. I'll do the video, watch his updated uploaded videos and comment there and occasionally. But I'm apparently blocked from participating in the live chat on the streams. And there's only so many times you can hear the same public domain show tunes. Okay. His mods are a bunch of psychos. I mean, back before everything blew up, back when Doomcock himself was saying, "Hey, post his links. We need to help you. He's part of our community. Help." And they wouldn't. He had to post it himself at one point. Okay, or link to a page. They were trying to raise some money. And I know other people have had similar problems with his mods. They're a little on the nut job side. They think
You're insane.
They seem to conflate being a mod of Doom as ownership of the channel. So it's a basic whatever. If that's who you want garden doors, I will watch from the peanut gallery. And the crowds you get for this chat, and it's impossible to get his attention anyway, unless you're super chatted. And by the way, super chats are not frowned upon here. They do help towards getting that paycheck from YouTube, but we need something a little more immediate. And if I'm lucky, I'll get that from. I'm barely on Discord. I have it, but I still have yet to figure it out. So I'm not sure what good they'll do. But I'll tell you what I can do here. Hold on. Let's see. There you go. You are now wrenched. Wear it in good health.
Bro, a wrench?
Yeah, why not?
Cool.
Now, if anything happens here to require moderation, whatever. Because this is a high water mark as far as crowd go. Oh, we're up to 4 now. Okay. And again, floor is open for discussion. I said my piece on Space Force. I like it. I think they're doing very good. So. And down to 3 again. What?
Nothing.
All right.
What?
Yes, he accepts the position with honor and reverence. Yeah, the little blue wrench. Yeah. Yes, it's been a very weird year. Okay, past the. But I think we need to appreciate the comedy in these, or comedy, a good comedy when we get one, like Space Force, like Lower Decks, and going with with Tanya Newsom, and we get enough crap in our lives. We do not need to be something. Oh, my earth is not against it. Like I have properly unloaded on these idiots who think they're going to give Spock a first name. Spock is his first name, you twits. Sarek and Amanda named him Spock. Okay, that's not a family name. It's not Sarek's full name is not Sarek Spock. No. I put out, the full name, and it's like They're pulling what they got from a Barbara Hambley novel, Ishmael, which was really, it's a mashup of Star Trek and Here Come the Brides. Because Mark Leonard was also had a major part in that show. So it's cute, but it's like the name they gave it. No, sorry, because I think I go with, I guess putting a tweet about this. DC Fontana's novel Vulcan's Glory sets out Spock's name. Spock, son of Sarek, House of Serac, of the noble clan Talek Sendin. And all due respect to Barbara Hambley, but Dorothy Fontana outranks you on that score. Okay. She was story editor and frequent writer on the original show. She was the go-to person regarding Vulcans. Okay. So guess what? I'm putting it in tweets and public things as much as I can. So, guys, if you're pulling from novels, then at least pick which novel you're going through, not Barbara Hambley's mashup of a Here Come the Bride story. Okay. Because they're one, I think I've also someone got it in the head when they were talking about during the first movie was doing its thing, and all these stories and the comics and the novels, and it's like, oh, stop right there, Sparky. The comics and the novels are not canon, never were canon. Why are you even looking at them? You can pull a point here and there, like if you really need to know Kirk's mother's name, fine, that's one thing. But God, they never got the memo that no, this is the novels were never canon. Okay. And frankly, most of the novels prefer it that way. It gives them room to play around. But go ahead. I think we've gone beyond. Okay. Expand the title a bit there. What? All right, fine. Be that way. All right. Well, let me change the title. But yeah, they're gonna start pulling from off the wall sources, like people. Oh, what do we got here? Renegade Action. Who won the president's election in 20? Legitimately? Oh, and of course we got nothing here. Remember that when TNG did that weird romance with Worf, Indiana? What was that? Was dancing with Sirtis. Asker. She'll confirm. There we go. See what that leads to anything. What the hell is that? All right. Okay, we'll just abandon Twitter there for where it is. Okay. What do we got? Okay. Alrighty. All right. What just happened here? Okay. Well, long story short, it's a good show. Give it a watch. It's on Netflix. 7 episodes for this season, 10 episodes first season. We can whip through it in no time. They're like half-hour episodes. And it's very tightly written. The characters are not cardboard cutouts. It's a good show. And there's some legitimate development happens on there. It's another thing with, again, dovetailing back to my, added, again, defending Lower Decks. It's like, with the thing is, that's unwatchable trash. No, it is actually very well written, very well written show. And attitude, nope. Like, some people just get hung up on certain aspects of things. Like, just reference. Again, if you're trying to establish that you are doing a Star Trek show, yeah, you got to need some references here and there. And the Lower Decks people are having fun with those references. They're reveling. They got the entire toy box to play with, and they're not trying to change anything. They've added some stuff of their own, and the fact that this is the division of Starfleet we didn't know about, but it makes sense that they're there. Okay, you got to have somebody do the grunt work. Not everyone can. I got it at Walmart actually. I actually got 2 of these. The other one's kind of buried in storage mode. Mm-hmm. What?
Bragging about your shit. Okay.
What?
Stop bragging about that shit. Okay.
I got it at Walmart like 2 years ago. Come on. And he said, nice coffee cup. Pardon me for responding to the chat. All right. But, you get, I guess it may be kind of starting to relate back to the old war on comedy in general. We're not allowed to have fun anymore, even with the stuff we like. I think with the re-release of the release of the finished version of Star Trek: The Motion Picture, finally they got the sound balance right. They got the music, thing. The opening credits is no longer just white text on a black card on a screen. No, you got a moving starfield and over in the overture. There's somebody going through a moving starfield now. He's not just sitting there in a dark theater looking at the screen, wondering what's going on. Where's the music? And finally, cleaned up the effects as best they could. But the point is they're not doing a special edition Redux with all new CGI effects. Screw all the old guys. No, they're trying to finish the movie they started making in '79 and using the assets they have for the movie as much as they can. And that's why you still have some matte lines here and there, because they're using the original effects elements. They're composited better. Maybe for anything, maybe that's making the matte lines show up even more. It's no longer being hidden through the optical printing process. But and also, as I was going, this actually is a pretty appropriate mug to be doing. We're talking about Space Force. But, if you haven't seen the motion picture, or at least haven't seen it for a while, forget the theatrical cut. That was a rough cut, and as it was, if they hadn't had a gun to everyone's head, it never would have seen the light of day. Because I looked at it and it's like, okay, what the hell is this? This is Vulcan, right? Why is it a black sky with big, huge moons? Who the hell approved this? This is somebody that they have a placeholder until they get the actual Vulcan we had in the storyboards. Because the current movie now, as it stands, with the director's edition, especially with the high def version, that is what they had in mind when they're doing it. They went by the storyboards, and it was surrounded by these giant statues. One of them with a big lyre, one was something else. And that was Vulcan. He's looking up under the shielding his eyes from the sun. Yes, it's supposed to be a sunny sky. It's Vulcan, for God's sakes, okay? Yeah, and there's only one quibble, technical thing, and hopefully it'll be addressed before they do the theatrical run in the Fathom events thing, is in the officers' lounge when they're Kirk and McCoy are kind of quizzing Spock of why he came back and those, and they've replaced the background with the officers' lounge as it is on the back of the. I do have that's clear over there. The model is where the little office just below the bridge of the document, and then those four windows. That's the officers' lounge. That's where it's supposed to be taking place. That wasn't what they shot. Well, it's like stuff like that with him saying veer off. It's like those are kind of things that are put in there. It's like in case the effect they chose didn't sell. It wasn't that he stunned because she's a perfectionist. It's like she's seen horrible things before, and no, Kirk would not have to order it twice. Okay, and it's the same thing with Chekhov's going, "We're out of it," or Sulu saying, "The new screen's hell." Those were backstops in case the scene at the effects scene didn't quite work, and they needed some extra emphasis. And Kirk going, "Oh my God!" in the transporter room. If the effects are, if the scene is edited right and they don't need those, they're easily gone. And that's what they did here. You lost Kirk's, oh my God, you lost Sulu's, there's new screens held, you lost Chekhov's, we're out of it, and Kirk's second viewer off. You didn't need him. So, and again, it's a minor thing to lose that because again, it's like, oh, you viewer off, yeah, viewer off. It's like you've seen enough. So, and again, if you've seen the director's edition before, there's no real surprises. Everything's still there. It's just now finished. It's in higher def. The effects are processed a little better. You do have the change in the officer's lounge scene and hopefully they will fix that before they go to the screen and find a video release on that, because the matte lines are pretty obvious on that one. It's a kind of a mess. So they should be able to go back to that and fix that before they do a DVD release or Blu-ray release on that and show it in theaters, because it's bad enough on a video screen. It's going to look horrible on a big screen. But everything else is fine. They got the audio mix is finally right. Spock is not obviously dubbed, although you can still pick it up if you heard it 15 million times. But at least they've added a little reverb here and there, so it's not that he's actually in the movie. And that's been a big thing because the audio mix was crap. It was just very really temporary. And then everyone's got this fixed. I prefer that was never supposed to be seen. I think really in RAL rights that should never really been seen. They should have gone through and fixed a couple of like the Vulcan map painting and the one with the Enterprise where they're going out in the hall to walk to V'Ger, and that map painting they had in the thing was like, oh my God. Did someone just phone to you and tell you what the Enterprise looked like? Because this is not even close to the model we already got. Well, it's kind of, when you hire the man who directed the Andromeda Strain and The Day the Earth Stood Still, you're not going to get Star Wars, okay? Yeah, it was, and again, it's a large part, Roddenberry really wanted to put up, serious science fiction stories. And that's evidenced in The Cage when it was pretty serious and stern stuff. They weren't playing it for laughs, and that's what when Shatner came in, this is, you got to think of it. As far as the character, it's just a day at the office for them. It's not going to be so much. We're in space doing serious stuff, and we're serious people. They're going to lighten up a little bit. Okay, it just worked to them. They're used to it. But by this point, it's the 23rd century. They've been starfaring for a long time now. It's not that big a deal. It's not like we're going into space. They're going to, and they've been this thing before. So that, that's also, and it does kind of go into the believability factor. It's like when Roddenberry's saying, that, when Joe Friday pulls out his 38, he doesn't explain how the thing works, how the firing pin operates on the primer and ejects the thing. No, he just pulls it, boom, it works. You see it work, you accept it and move on. You don't bog down everything with technobabble and explaining things. And it's sort of the same thing. These people, they're not going to go through a detailed explanation of how the transporter works, unless it's somebody who has no clue of what a transporter is. No, it's okay. It just sort of does this and this, and then you come up with something like it. But that was one thing the original story didn't want to get bogged down in technobabble. Now, at least with Next Gen, it was thought out technobabble. And you had Rick Sternbach and Michael Kuda on hand to figure out the technobabble. And that's why in the script it'll say tech the tech, and then we'll do the tech, and then the tech will do this. And let these guys figure out an explanation for it. And usually it works. And if you know how the thing works, you can figure, yeah, that makes sense. Whereas the newer crap, they're clearly don't have somebody on hand who knows this stuff. In fact, if you do say you know this stuff, they will fire you promptly. I've heard that from people who know on the inside. If you let it know that you are a Star Trek fan and you bring up the fact, hey, this isn't canon, you're fired. You just shot yourself in the foot. You're fired. You're gone. So it's either you suck it up and say the crap they say, regardless of how idiotic it is, or yeah, you're gone. The only shows that are under the production right now that are run by fans and for is the animated stuff. Lower Decks and Prodigy. I don't know why I'm even wearing these people. Unless somebody shows up in the chat, I'm don't need this. So
What are you doing?
taking the headphones off. And it's for some people who are flabbergasted of why people like Lower Decks, because they like us. Okay, it's simple as that. Okay? Like Mission Chicago, Sergeant Mission Chicago, the big con this past weekend. Yeah, you had all the shows there, but for Lower Decks, they had members of the cast show up in costume. Okay, in fact, the introduction, was it's like the cast was supposed to be here for but unfortunately they couldn't make it. So in their place, the crew of the USS Cerritos, and then they introduced them. Jerry O'Connell is Commander Jack Branson, and he comes out and he's even coming out wielding a barbell, a dumbbell in his hand. And then now come Noel Neal attending. They didn't. I think thankfully for her, they didn't paint her green, so she could still go to dinner that night without being looked at weird. I got Star Trek Online download, but it needs a patch on there, and it was taking forever to update. So I think that might have to wait until I get it, into a place and with a grown-up computer, so I can do all that. But and Jack Quaid as Ensign Brad Weinberg, and he comes out and he's got this big purple hair thing, wings, the big thing, and I think he's carrying a Geordie bear. And then finally, Tony Newsom as Ensign Beckett Mariner. She's got the sleeves rolled up and everything. And earlier, there had been a chant of lower deck. Now, okay, no, save that. We're going to do that later. And so when they get out, and she gets out there, and yeah, we're doing a chant lower deck. Okay, yeah, but we're going to do it low. And just to have things, she put in a headlock. And so lower decks, and then everything starts rolling, and then so. It's got its audience. It's an enthusiastic audience. We love the show. We love because people don't get crazy. There's a segment of fandom that loves the references. They love being reinforced. Yes, they know they're in a Star Trek show. They're loving they're in a Star Trek show. The characters love the universe. They're big fans of the old days. But you pretty much figure Boimler has probably got those logs memorized. Okay. He could tell you what Kirk had for lunch in the middle of the second season on this episode. Okay. The one time he didn't have that chicken sandwich and coffee, you know, and not because there was a tribble in it. They like the toy box they're in. They love the toys that are in it, you know. And they brought a few of their own in this, and the sense of like, you got this other division Star. I think of the proper name. I still think it was kind of the Starfleet Merchant Marines. Although the analogy breaks down pretty quick because Merchant Marines is really a civilian thing, but it's Starfleet's version of it. These are the guys who deliver the pizza and take out the trash. And yeah, it's second and third contact. They go back to Beta 3 and find out what's happened since Kirk left and, you know, told Landru to go blow himself up. It's like, okay, somehow they turned Landru back on and some people got back to worship him. I'm trying to think, why are you people... Well, I am not hopeful for Strange New Worlds because it's still the same crew of writers. And as such, the same attitude towards canon. If you know your canon, you're not welcome there. They use it, you know, they use the canon as just a source for, you know, story it is, but they don't want to stick to it. Otherwise, that ship wouldn't be, you know, the Enterprise. It's not the Enterprise. It's a nice design. I got two models of one, the big one and the small one. But when I paint them up in decom, they're not going to be, neither are going to be the Enterprise. I'm going to label one the Essex, you know. Because I'm still convinced that, yeah, Johnny's did that. Rick Berman would not have approved for a hero ship that tennis ball and beer can design that everyone keeps touting around. It doesn't work as a hero ship. And also, it's a break in the sequence because you've already established with the NX-01, the saucer and the nacelles, and with the added secondary hull for what Drexel wanted to do for fourth season or fifth season. There's your pattern right there, and then you got to, it's gonna, you know, progression from that through to the Enterprise, you know, Kirk's Enterprise. You got to, you know, got to follow the sequence, and that design that he did, you know, they did follows that sequence perfectly. You got a lot of cues there from the NX-01 on the engine design, and some of the shape of the hull. And everything. So I would call that the Daedalus class. And as far as anyone citing that model in Sisko's office, it's an early concept design that never went anywhere. They do that all the time in real life. Someone wants to propose a design, well, show me a model. What's it going to look like? Don't show me a drawing, show me a model of the thing. So you can pick it up, look at it, you know, and say yay or nay. And no, I don't like this, you know, lose that, you know, or just chuck it. No, give me something else. So you got these models sitting around. People like having knickknacks on the shelves. And Sisko was an engineer at Utopia Planitia, so he had any access to any of these stupid little concept models he wanted. So it's not that big of a, yeah, this was a concept model for the Days class. I never went with it. And that's how you explain that one away. That's another thing. They feel they need to explain every little thing. Why does Picard have an English accent? And that's a case of who really cares, okay? And they came up with some cock-and-bull explanation about, you know. Oh, okay, Mr. Pete Channel is on. All right. Well, hello. Okay, you're here. And again, I can't tell you're here until you say something. So you said something. Hello. All right.
Yeah, he said hello.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. So, but it's like when, you know, the JJ Trek, they came up with some idiotic story about how, you know, why he calls them Bones. And clearly, JJ knows nothing about Westerns. Because Bones is short for sawbones, an old West term for doctors. Because they, you know, in the Civil War, where they, you know, a lot of times saving the patient means sawing off a leg, you know, that sort of thing. And that really was like, you know, because the ball ammunition in those days, it wouldn't just, you know, you got hit in the leg. You'd hope to hell it would just great, because if it hit the bone, it wouldn't just break it, it would shatter it. And there was no saving the leg at that point. I mean, especially under the, you know, the medicine at the time. So they kiss that leg goodbye. And the thing, and then even piece of the action. Kirk actually calls him Sawbones at one point. Okay, when he gets in and grabs Oxmix by not now Sawbones. I deal with this creep. But they're gonna only left me nothing with my bones. Like, what kind of stupid explanation is that? Man, who the hell knows? Yeah, the big thing is, who the hell cares? After all this time, now they're going to deal with his accent? Yeah, it's because remember at the time it's like the Western was just starting to kind of close in there. I mean, Gunsmoke was still on the air. There were still a few Westerns on the air at the time, but it was on the way down. There was a point where, like in a few years, CBS, the old line is they canceled everything with a tree in it. I think like 72 or so when they canceled Green Acres, Hillary Billy, Gilligan's Island, Gunsmoke, all these shows gone. Yeah, and actually kind of leads to in Germany they don't have that tradition, so it made no sense for them to call them Bones. So they call them Pill. As in like this kind of thing. Yeah. Whatever. The foreign translations get a little weird sometimes. Especially in Japan, they go totally apeshit because the idea of a commander, Pill. That's what they call them. They call them in the German version. They would essentially rewrite the episodes because the idea of a commander asking his subordinates for the commander's supposed to know everything. He should know what they do this and they do it. So the idea that trying to discuss this with his lower officers and trying to get their input. Who cares what they think? They're not in command. You are. So, which kind of explains a few things of what happened during the war. But one thing I for the concordance was going through and digging up all these foreign titles, and some of the Japanese titles for the episodes were nuts. They practically give away the entire plot in the title. I mean, okay, why watch it now? It just told us what happens. All right. Any more questions here? Because I think we've definitely exhausted the Space Force question rather quickly. But it won't let me change the title. So what do we got here? Okay. Get rid of that. Okay. Okay. And again, this is not just for talking, and then we are needing money, we need help. So the PayPal link is down below. If you don't know, if you can't give yourself, pass the link around to somebody who can. We need to get at least past Monday. Hopefully by then we will get a call about our apartment waiting for. The place is waiting for us. Just waiting for again. It's all the speed of bureaucracy right now. So we can get a call to, okay, you've been approved. Let's get, sign the lease. Give me the keys because we got to move now. And use what Gaskell left in getting us the hell out of here. And hopefully we don't have enough left over to get the bed out of storage. Yeah, that sort of thing. Wilbur Fifth, hold the line. Well, in fact, let's see. See if I can. There's a line of discussion we can go through. Let me dig up my concordant stuff here. Because I got a lot of titles on there. Where have I got the synopses? Here we are. Because some of the, like mostly the Europeans, they would try to get close to what the actual title is. And the Japanese title, I think, for Where No Man Has Gone Before was The Glittering Eyes, which, okay, that's actually kind of, strangely poetic. Okay. Oh, stop it. I'm not starting a free trial here. So let's just start. Get that out of the way here. What happened to Microsoft Word just being Word? And why is there nothing on this file? Guess what I didn't do? I didn't copy it onto that file yet. Let's try that one. Stop it. All right. And guess what? I didn't copy into that, and I haven't gotten very far anyway. Let's try something else. Actually, I got a number of these in the 91 edition. Let me just pull that up here. Let's see. Whoops. Nope. Wrong way. Archive. 1995 edition, which frankly nobody really liked. But let's see. Let's call up the man trap here. Live TV, folks. Gotta love it. Okay, maybe not. Let's try this. Open with that. Close that. So just work from there. And that's one thing that would change when we get back on track with this is forget air date order on any of this stuff. Not the animated, not the original series. Because air date order, who cares? Okay, that was the original series especially was very arbitrary. It was based on what was available to air that time. Oh, for Christ's sake, now what? Okay. All right. For the cage. The South African is, Die Volk, which is the cage. German, Portuguese, Jordana Namastras on the Tudo comes where everything began, and Zulu a cage. Because I don't have a Japanese title for that. Let me sure I'm going to go hunting for this. There used to be a website where they had all the foreign titles, and I was going through that a lot, looking for these things. Get in here. 95. Let's just take a stab in the middle here. Okay, Balance of Terror. Now, Afrikaans, Catalan, Czech are mostly just translations of Balance of Terror. French is the translation to Zone of Terror. German, Spock Under Suspicion. Over there, the ship was Raumschiff Enterprise. The Italian, the translation is The Invisible Ship. Japanese, their title translates as SOS from a Starbase. And the rest of them, the other ones are just, just translations of the word Balance of Terror. I find it really weird when A jump in the middle of Patterns of Force. Oh no, what the hell? Yeah, for by any other name, I don't know why they got a picture of McCoy as a Nazi there, but in the wrong episode. Most of them are just translation of the name by any other name. French, their titles was translated to Introspection. German, Stone and Dust. Japanese title, 300 Years of Space Travel. That's kind of to the point. And let's see, we got Court Martial here. Most of them are all just Court Martial, Japanese Court Martial in space. No shit. You know, Germans, Kirk under suspicion, but everything else is just Court Martial, Court Martial, Court Martial. Yeah. See if we can get something a little more. Third season here. Oh, animated. Okay. Most of them are, the Lorelei Signal. Most of them is just translation of the Lorelei Signal. German was Planet of Amazons, but also was thus Lorelei Signal. Japanese, The Star for Women Only. I know there was one that was just laid out the entire plot in the title. Let's see, Amok Time. French translates it as Homesick. German was Space Fever. Italian, The Duel. Japanese, Secret of the Vulcan. Which makes things interesting, I guess. Let's take a look at this one on here. This is Turnabout Intruder. Again, most of it is Turnabout. The Catalan is Intruder Aboard. German translates as Dangerous Exchange. Italian, Reversal of Course. Japanese, Transformation! Exclamation point. Captain Kirk's Crisis. But yeah, you get some bizarre titles in there. Oh, that is something. I shouldn't have closed that there. See if I can find. Or I should have probably held on to that. Because I got a folder with all versions of the concordance that most of them, the old fan made ones. They would just take out the brads, put them in a binder, but the mass market ones, I just got them really cheap. Got a 3-hole punch and went to town. I mean, it was a little sacrilege doing that to an old 76 version, but got a guy for maybe $1. Let's see one. It took them forever to even air force Patterns of Force. There we are. Because there is it is illegal to display the swastika in Germany. The only show they could air that would do that. Okay, the time they printed it, not done in German and never aired there. But the other titles, it's the Patterns of Force, the Catalan was Displays of Force, French was Brotherhood, Germany not done in German, never aired there. Italian, Patterns of Force, Japanese, Fear of Ecos Nazis. So, and that would explain because of the next pages we got McCoy in that Nazi uniform. Okay, what's the immunity syndrome look like? I think this is one of the bizarre titles. Yeah. Immunity syndrome, the 11,000 mile Amoeba. In French, it's just titled Amoeba. German, The Hole in Space. Italian, Galaxy in Peril. Japanese, Crash with One-Celled Life Form. Yeah, just give away the big plot twist, halfway through that, Okay. I got to see Spock's brain. Okay, most of it's just translation of Spock's brain. Italian was Operation Brain. Japanese, the stolen brain of Spock. So, subtlety, yeah. Subtlety is not a Japanese strong point. No. Oh, Lord. We're back down to 2, and it's been an hour. So, what happened to President Biden? Not one, but, well, again, at the time they filmed that, I think it was still early days. And they also, I think, don't want to get tied up. Yeah, we're going back to Space Force. They don't want to get tied up with current day politics. So they're never going to identify the president, by name. You can figure out things, some references like, the old man's not going to be happy about this. Okay, we've been at this for an hour. And like always, I do this largely for posterity's sake. So for those tuning in later, watching this later, it's at the beginning. I'm going to say it again for the end here. We need help. We need a fast. Okay. And,
we're about to be screwed.
Yeah. I'm mainly concerned right now because the parking permit only goes as far as tomorrow. And we have a very aggressive tow company that comes in here. And last time it was a pain in the ass to have the cars, but this time it would be a killer because it's too long before we'd be able to get over. And it was over $400 just to get it back. We were only there, but we managed to get to it in a couple of days. We couldn't get to it in a couple of days with enough money. So yeah, it would be a death knell if that thing got towed now. So we got to keep it current. So if you can't give yourself, pass the link around to somebody who can. And I don't want to pressure who's here, because I know I have generally a fairly poor audience. Come through before, but I can't keep going to the same well over and over again because I've seen how that happens and things turn against us very quickly. So I'm going to wrap this up here. I might try some streaming from Fortnite later. I don't want to. We really can't stay in the van. Okay, we're too busted up in there, and there's no room. There's no room for even if we crammed everything. There'd be no room for us, and there'd still be stuff left over at this point. We got too much crap. We need to hold on long enough to make it to get that call to say, okay, you've been approved. Let's start moving. Not for at least through Monday. That's when things start breaking loose. Hopefully, I left the message with the guys we're working with on that one. I left the message with Colorado Poverty Law Units, and this is what these guys are trying to pull on us over here. Tried to get a hold of our caseworker with the rent. Look, they're not listening to us. They're only going to listen to you. And they said they're willing to talk to you. I have sent you a phone number. You can call them and talk to them about it. So, well, okay. Talking turkey here. Well, to cover what we've already spent, I'll probably need another $30-$40 to cover that. And then another $75 for another day. It's $75 a day. So a couple hundred would cover us nicely until Monday or Tuesday. And I'm hoping it's not going to, because by any luck, I should actually get paid Wednesday through YouTube, and I definitely get paid Friday. But that, again, the Wednesday is only going to be $100 if it does happen, and Friday is about $320. So it'd be enough to keep her head above water. And again, hopefully this week would be enough that we'd get that call and it wouldn't necessarily go the whole way, but we got to make it past Monday. So, and then again, I hate going these things. It's been a lovely thing being able to go the past few months without having to bring this crap up, you know, and not have to risk another blowout like when, you know, last big mega machine when Mary came in and pretty much tried to toss us out on the street. It's tough love. No, you're trying to kill us. Okay.
It's fucking bullying is what it is.
I'm still irritated with her at that one. I mean, hopefully that bridge can be mended eventually. When
No.
No, I got you.
Not a
Overall,
chance in hell.
well, that's you. Okay, you can keep all the grudges you want. All right. Well, I can start up a thing here, but you know, you open that up here. We'll start another fundraiser on PayPal. Log in here. I've been avoiding it mainly because, you know, the last one crashed and burned rather ugly. So
Fuck you very much, Mary Mayhem.
yeah, that's the thing. She's calling it tough love. No, you're not. You're not helping. Okay, you are hurting, Mary.
No.
Especially considering when she had that big blow up with Tom. It's like I defended her. I cost me subs when I stuck up for her. So let me go ahead and all right, I'm just going to copy and paste that. Definitely a bottle right. Well, let's see. The screwy thing is, I've been trying to get her on a chat for a while anyway. Then she just shows up with her and her crew, and we have a guy who seemed to, you know, this guy seemed to be very interested in helping. We're just trying to figure out how. But then she comes storming in and just blows it all up. Steph's in the bathroom in hysterics, and making it sound like I'm abusing her for God's sake. It's just, you know. And it doesn't help. I'm going to yell at her to get her to shut up so I can make my plight. But she, you know, it was very bad. It was a dumpster fire. It was a live stream. I deleted it. Okay, let's start one. This one turned into a bit of a pain in the butt too, because, you know. Okay. I'm just gonna put $2,000 here. End date. Yeah. Housing and hunger. Let me edit this a bit. $5,000?
Yeah.
Okay, let me copy that back here. $5,000. Okay.
The biggest problem with the last one was these weenies who had these auto pays set and
Yeah, some of the people, I'd be contesting, $1 donations. It's like, why are you wasting time with a $1, contesting a $1 donation? It's 20 pesos, or a lot of cases. But like, why are you complaining? It's like, why are you wasting my time and everyone else's time on this? All right. No, hold on. I want to get the same picture up there. So. Where's your pictures? Oh, for good. Okay, let's see if I can find a decent picture of the two of us with Jones there. Actually, wait a minute. Hold on. A little bit here. Back that up. No, I don't want the whole damn web page. I just want the picture. What the hell? Come on, you weasel. Oh dear.
What?
Hold on, let me just. I want to use this same picture, but it won't let me change it. Hold on. And I can't go forward in the damn time. Why am I even bothering with this? Okay. Well, never mind that. I'm going to open the picture on the page. Get out of there. Huh. Well, this is irritating.
What?
Trying to find that picture of you, me, and Jonesy. Miscellaneous? I thought it was in your thing, so I can just upload it from there. It's not. It must have been on the old computer or something. In baskets? This is frustrating. Nope. Nope. Dang it. So it's going along swimmingly, too, to this point. Why is that even there? Okay. Anyway, this will be a real fun thing to watch on the replay. Me trying to find a picture. Well, I can probably add a picture later, but it's like, oh, stop that. Okay. Because I don't want to just put a picture of me. That's kind of egotistical.
That's rather cheeseball.
Yeah. That's why I like that one picture of you, me, and Jonesy. Shows the family unit right there. And I guess a nice little memorial to Jonesy.
God, I miss that.
Yeah.
Orange bastard.
To an extent, digital cam stuff. There we go, because that's where it came from in the first place. There's me and Eric Fairpoint. Studio. Cosplay exhibit. Picture of the Sarah McLachlan concert. Would it be dishonest to put a picture of Jonesy up there?
What?
Would it be particularly dishonest to put up a picture of Jonesy?
I don't think so.
There's a good one. Alrighty. Are you still here? Okay.
Yeah, we'll have a nice big chunk of change in the morning, and
Hopefully.
this will all be academic.
Okay. All right. And I'll put that right there. There we go. And we'll put this on Facebook. For all the good that'll do.
Yeah. Shall we go ahead and sleep in the van for the night?
No, we shall not sleep in the van tomorrow.
Just in case the towing company gets some ideas.
No, because it's still the date is still for tomorrow.
Mm,
It's Mondays when we got a problem. Okay.
doesn't mean it's just long enough for us to get our stuff and get out.
Yeah, but as far as the towing company goes, it's still dated for that day. They're not going to do anything. And also, hopefully, they can do that. All right. Again, how many got? One person watching. Okay. All right. So, as everybody else watching this on the replay, it might already be too late, but any little bit helps. Because we got we're gonna have problems tomorrow when things start hitting, and it's just gonna get snowball from there. We're gonna get something ahead of this here. So, anything can be thrown to be appreciated to help stave off the beasts.
Mm-hmm.
And again, we got things in the fire to try and head it off and try and get them to, in my book, trying to get them to honor their word, because this is what pisses me off. Is there were assurances made that, this is the amount we'll need to cover these guys for the month of April, all of April. And I got the copies of the emails that said to the end of April. And I don't know where in the process suddenly it became the middle of April. And they're playing games on that sort of thing. I don't know what to what end. They think they can eke a little more money on the county. No, we paid for the month. You told us we were paying for the month. I'm trying to get them to just basically honor their word, nothing else. And they got our caseworkers out until Monday, which is we're talking very close timing if we're relying on her. That's why we're doing these stupid, live shows, trying to generate something to keep us afloat until until the rescue boat shows up. And it is on its way. Okay, but that's pretty cool, comforting when you're going going on into the water there. The Carpathia is still a half mile off. So did I have anything shut? All right, enough of that. So, well, let's see. The check was for the total thing was like over 14 grand to cover both our back rent, the late fees, and this thing was just to cover up through March. And yes, how much to add on just to get through April. And they sent it on out. That's the amount they sent. And the understanding was this was going to cover till the end of April. It's in the email. It says to the end of April. And then I go up there trying it. They only get to the 15th of April. No, wait a minute. You said it was supposed to be the end of April. And the guy who was doing it, I'll check the email again. And yeah, he checked the email. And then that guy's no longer here. So I can't browbeat him into honor his work, and all they know is the bills. No, that's what the bill adds up to.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what the hell happened. And they're not. And I've shown them the emails. They don't care. They don't want to talk to me. They talked to the caseworker who wrote the check, but trying to get her to actually get the connected. Look, they don't want to talk to us. They will talk to you. Trying to get her to re-engage and actually talk to these people. Listen, right now we're still at a rate of $75 a day. So hopefully it's worst cases, get us through to the next few days. So we want a dollar figure. $150 would get us probably to Tuesday. Or Monday. I don't know. I'm not sure how the bill works. But it's like $75 a day, one day, 150. That it was only for actually more like 5-6 months, because I had to cover the past due from late October, November, December, January, and get all that covered. It was all we were doing a sort of a standoff with a hotel for a while there, and I think we actually may have been the last straw for the corporate management to get rid of all the management. They went through a couple of managers. One of them was a total idiot. He would not answer the email and then delayed getting things going for a while. So they brought in another management team who would actually respond because they were about to cut us off because nothing was going right. I was like, well, no response. And hold on a minute here. Then they go scream at the front office. Look, pretty much, yeah. And I'm mainly pushing the PayPal, the direct PayPal. It's like we need money now. Okay, it's like it is right now. It's 9:24. The office closes at 11. Okay, so we can at least get another day out of this thing and worry about the another day to argue with them tomorrow. Yeah, I think with Elon, I actually, I forwarded a link to the last live stream to Elon. But here's something I did. She's terrible about this on that too. Like as long as you're throwing money around, trying to buy Twitter, can you throw a couple thousand at us? I didn't say that. I just here's something I did. And then watch the video, make up your own mind, buddy. Because it's right now. It's just a matter of timing more than anything. It's just like this is the worst possible time for this crap to be happening with virtually no notice. Okay? Or I think just not moving, refusing to nothing because the county doesn't want to deal with these idiots anymore because these games are planned. And I'm trying to say we need to play at least one more round because we're the ones going to get thrown out on the street if this doesn't get resolved. So last email said that could you just send them a threat of having the fraud and reclamation people send at them, get them to move on that because they're not listening to us. I've shown them the emails; they don't care. And from their perspective, why should they trust some guy coming in and claiming to have emails from them? The guy who isn't even there anymore. It's going to come from one of the people directly involved. In this case, the one who actually wrote the damn check. And then go through what they were told. This was supposed to be for the entire month, not 2 weeks. Because the county doesn't pay for 2 weeks in prorated rent. They pay for the entire month in one shot. I got to trim. This is getting stupid. I don't know why it's sticking up like that. That thing with the usual thing. Well, just sell something on eBay. You know how long it takes to sell something on eBay? How long it would take to get the money for selling something on eBay? It's like, you might as well stand there in front of the sign saying, "Why lie? I need beer." So it's unfortunately we're back to this thing of Okay, now as far as the apartment goes, we are already online to get an apartment, and the rent people will pay for that one another 5 months worth on that. It's a matter of waiting for the background checks to come back so that you'll make sure we're not a couple of meth dealers. That's what they. So, and once that comes back, then it's okay. It's back. You're clear. Fine. Let's get the apartment, get moving here. And that's where we're waiting this whole past week because it was like first of the month or so, early when we went in and met with the people, got the form straightened out and everything else, and now just gave the money orders and do the background checks. And we're just waiting for that, and waited all this past week for hopefully and they said they'd expedite as much as they could, but apparently it wasn't enough because it didn't come through, and we're on now the point. Okay, well now we're out of time. Again, for all we know, Monday could come. Okay, you're approved. Let's go. But I'm at a point now. I don't even care about because we're not trying to stay here. We want to get out of here as much as they want to throw us out. Okay, and we know where the place is. They want to put it. We know where the apartment is. We've been by the place. It's a halfway decent. It's a decent area. It's in the general area where we want to be anyway. That's where they always have problems. They want to stick us. These agencies want to stick us somewhere downtown or other side of town. But I'm hoping to get it tomorrow. Forget May 1st. I'm hoping to get that call. Okay, or not. Monday. That's when everything's back to the office and no longer deal with a holiday. Right and early Monday morning, it comes back. Okay, they're clear. All right, we got your thing back, and hopefully, okay, great, because we're in a Kmart parking lot somewhere, and half our stuff is on the street by the hotel.
And you motherfuckers will keep it.
And so I'm, we right now it's treading water, until that call comes in which case it's off to the races. But realistically, to get all this crap out of here, it'll take a few trips. Even with the minivan, we gotta, because we got a 2-bedroom apartment up in Arvada. One room is going to be my studio. They know that. I told them I got a YouTube channel, and when one of them is a studio, they're not probably. It's cheap enough to get almost afforded on our own without the rental assistance. It's like $970 something, $974 something a month, $972, something like that.
Something like that.
So it would not take much extra. Yeah, that's it. We just need a few $100 to tide us over until they come back with a yay on those. And I know it's going to come back because there's nothing on there to find. Like one Mr. Meter municipal thing in Golden 5 years ago. And that shouldn't go beyond Golden, frankly. And they shouldn't be showing up anywhere. I wish they had told me the
I
misdemeanor.
hope not.
I wish they had told me it was only a misdemeanor within Golden anyway. I would have saved us a lot of time and effort and probably a couple of vehicles in trying to resolve that thing. It was involving the stupid cat. And I was ordered to go through some kind of training. I couldn't get there. And finally, I said, I can't do it. Our car is dead. We can't get there. And I've already shelled out money trying to go. They've gone through a company. Okay, fine. Well,
Hope that's not going to cost
just
us
plead
the
no. No,
apartment.
I don't think so. Again, that was 5 years ago. Back when the whole crap started. Yeah, no, it's set aside for low income housing, but it's not the projects. That's one thing I have to point out here is like because Mecca's looking at having to leave the state because the rents are getting so nuts. But he makes too much to normally qualify. I sent her a link. Hey, check these guys out. They're helping us out, but she kind of took it the wrong way. So okay, fine, whatever. I offered you a gift. You don't want it. Okay. Yeah,
Great and bad.
yeah, I don't know, whatever. It's just her issue. She's got she got boundary issues. Okay, fine, whatever. I try to help. Okay, I'll leave it at that. Don't try more than once. You turn to a stop. Oh, I really also my tax refund is somewhere in the wind. it's on its way somewhere. But that's not going to show up by Monday. I'll tell you that right now. But I mean, get into get a studio set up, get a real grown-up computer with a high-def camera. I've got a big boy microphone over here with the thing and everything, but just as good as anything used in the studio, in a professional studio. This one's okay, but And again, this isn't like previous times where it's like, we're in danger. No, we have a place to go eventually. Okay. It's the eventually part that's holding us up here. Yeah, it's moving at the speed of bureaucracy. Like trying to get people to get around and check the, okay, let's see here. And yeah. I've already got a couple of green screen things. I'm ready for the big time. It's a matter of getting the setup to do it. I know. And now it's holding back this channel. The fact that every broadcast is coming from something like this. Yeah, I appreciate it, bro. I'm sure. And one of these days we will do a live stream together. We'll do something together there and get something going and have all kinds of fun. Because you've been one of our stalwarts. You definitely hung with us there. Occasionally got a little lecture about the cat, which I wasn't appreciative at the time, but it's like, I'll let that go.
Yeah.
Especially since we no longer have the cat anyway.
Yeah. I just wish he'd forgive me enough to get me, to, take away his unfriend on me.
What?
He unfriended me when that whole thing happened.
Yeah, you unfriended Steph when that whole thing happened.
I'm still feeling bad about that.
Yeah. Yeah. He's paraphrasing your favorite quote from McCoy. Bureaucratic mindset, the only constant in the universe. Yeah. In this case, we're lucky to get a freighter. Because I think it's because the real idiotic thing is, normally I could have been DoorDash. The gas is too damn expensive now. I can't even DoorDash. I spend the entire day and only cover the gas. And also, the stupid food benefit thing that supposedly finally got approved, but where's the damn money? You look at it right now, see if maybe something's updated. I doubt it.
Sorry, honey.
I know. All right, he lost his monkey to cancer. He'll refriend her, and thanks for forgiving him. He gets upset next year. So, okay, and yeah, our food benefits card sitting at 55 cents. So we're also running out of food too. Although we're forced us to go through the stuff we have stockpiled here, which we need to anyway, probably. But Anyway, all right, we've been at this for an hour and a half now. The link's in the chat. I will put the link to the fundraiser afterwards, so when I can get an edit, because it won't let me edit it right now because it was a scheduled thing. So it was impromptu.
Yeah, just don't tell Miss Mean Girl. I know her; she'll try to sabotage it again.
Yeah, I'd avoid letting Mary know about this, so she's not gonna. She's gonna get our high horse, and then they said, wait, you need to manage your money, but we didn't need money to manage. Okay. So, these lectures, it's kind of like, you need to do this and this and this. It's like telling a drowning man, well, you should have learned to swim. Save the lectures for after you pull me out. Okay. Like the time, it's like why you don't, why you can't really buy fire insurance while the house is on fire. Okay. But anyway, enough pontificating. Space Force, good show. Watch it.
Definitely.
Star Trek motion picture, high def redo. Watch it. Forget the theatrical version. This is now the finished version. And
the longest test screening in history.
Yes, the longest test screening in motion picture history is finally drawing to a close. I think at this point it'll finally be officially over when Star Trek motion picture is re-released to theaters and limited release by Fathom in late May. I think 23rd to 25th. They're going to put out in certain theaters. The finished version will finally be hitting theater screens. I'm going to try and we're trying to make an effort to get to one of those screenings. We have Fathom stuff out here. And the one big regret is my dad's not around to see it. Because he took me out of school to go see that when it first came out in 79.
Yes.
That would have been fun.
Southern Baptist father.
Yeah, my father, I conclude my father was a frustrated geek at heart. Because he watched the original show when it ran on NBC, and I'm told that I watched it along with him. So that's why it's like, because I finally, how did this? And that's why I have no memory of first watching Star Trek, because it's always been there for I was 2.5 when the show premiered. Okay, that's a little before conscious memory kicked in. I mean, my earliest memory I can actually point back to, I remember that, was when I was 3. We were leaving Kansas and moving to Northland, moving to Colorado. Beyond that, it's nothing. There's nothing recorded. Nobody hit the record button at that point. I remember sort of hanging off the end of the movie, back end of the movie truck, just in the driveway. Because I was 3. Okay, there's a talk line. Okay. I think it was sort of like, I'm in a bit of a spot here or something. I'm just like, I'm trying to get out of this, or trying to climb up, or eventually giving up on it. And then the drive across Kansas to Colorado, and then pull up to our house in Northland. It's still there. The house is still there. It's changed quite a bit. They finally put in a garage, which unfortunately probably took out the cherry tree in the backyard. I don't know what happened to that. A child then. That's the thing. When the Star Trek animated series came on, I loved it. I watched it, but I also knew that wasn't the original. So I can't say. Well, I first saw. I my first conscious memories of watching it were even then, because it hit big in syndication in the mid '70s, but it did go right into reruns sporadically. It was out here in Denver. Channel 9 would run it. Channel 9 was not NBC; it was ABC station. But they put it into syndication immediately. But it was like just scattershot. And Channel 9 would show it occasionally on Saturdays. And I would find it just by channel surfing. So there's no real complete thing. I remember flipping across Whom Gods Destroy one time, and then the Doomsday Machine. And there's the memories of a 6-year-old type of thing. So there's gaps here and there. Forget certain scenes of, didn't catch the beginning anyway, so I don't know what's going on. But I knew it was Star Trek. I knew what it was, and there was no, hey, what's this? No, I knew what it was. So when they did do the big syndication package in in '74, And it's okay. Finally, I can watch it. Watch a live action. And the thing is, back then, I never watched an air date order. They didn't air it. They ran in because these films would come to the stations, and the production number is on the film cans when they run it, and the station would generally either run it in totally random order, or they if they need an order, they go by their order and the production number. So I saw them in production order. I start off with where no man has gone before, and then the Corbomite maneuver, and then yada 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 down the line. And now we're at an hour 40. So okay, before we get into another rehash of why I'm a Trekkie, because that video is still up, kids. Go look it up. It's there. I'm going to wrap it up now, okay?
And
before we really start I start
If
crying.
you want to see any memories of our cat, there's the one.
Yeah, there's a couple of videos of Jonesy blocking me out for about half an hour. I was given the not so bright advice of sending that. Hear about secret space station? I don't know. I haven't heard about that. I don't know how we could, because they kept him busy so many times, being impeached and investigated. Now it took him a year and a half just to get started on the damn wall. So that's one thing. I'll go political for this one little bit. In 2024, well, in 2022, all the projections are it is going to be a bloodbath on the Democrat side. And some people they're talking, wipe out of biblical proportions, because they screwed the pooch so bad on the Democrat side that forget red wave. It's going to be a red tsunami. Even the safe seats are in peril right now. Colorado right now, which is ostensibly turning into a blue state with a few, they're now neck and neck, which is close as been for a while. For a long time, this was a very reliable Republican state, and it may well turn that way again because they've so screwed the pooch. I mean, look, Virginia is a perfect example. That was a very blue state. The Republicans took the Congress, the governorship, and the legislature. You mess with people's kids, they will come after you. Okay. They'll put up with all kinds of various, agenda, but the second you start messing with their kids and education, that's it. Game on.
Okay. And Daniel's Hot Topic said something about a secret.
Yeah, I know. I'm just wondering. I wouldn't put it past the idea, but it's like, when did he have the time? And plus, you can't really launch a rocket secretly. We only have a few launch facilities, and they're pretty well watched. Okay, so, I mean, Canaveral, there's always somebody there watching. They know when a rocket goes up, and I don't think Vandenberg is fully operational. They had a fully operational shuttle launch facility out there, but those wonderful budget cuts so there's wrap the entire facility in plastic wrap, and it's been sitting out in the desert.
Yeah, the only way Vandenberg ever got used was that one James Bond movie.
Whatever. Well, that was sort of thing. Is the military would have their own launch facility, And I guess Atlantis would be up right now because that was the military's contribution. They launch all the classified stuff on Atlantis.
I just wish they hadn't shuttered the shuttle program.
Well, to an extent, you watch Amy's stuff a lot. Right. Amy shared titles. The vintage spaces are mostly space race stuff, but also just mid 20th century. Because she has very broad interests. She's not just the space girl.
Yeah, one of my favorite.
But she was never a fan of the shuttle because it was like it's really kind of a mission to nowhere, especially when they cut so much the space station it was supposed to build, that sort of thing.
But my favorite video of hers on there is what happens if you go on the rag in space.
Well, that was a serious concern. Like, nobody knew what happens when if a woman goes in a period in a zero gravity environment. Is this going to be a health problem? There's a lot of things they didn't know because how the hell could you? Nobody had been up there long enough for it to be an issue. And so there, it's kind of a thing of why didn't they have any women astronauts? Well, that's one of the concerns. It wasn't just sexism. It's like recognition of certain biological things. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Typhoid Mary.
Yeah. What was it? Chatting with the guy on Twitter, Grumpy Old Ninja, I think his name. He was just trying to play mediator because it came out, like I was still getting, what the hell was I getting? Some of the gray has gotten nuts here, but I actually was talking, something about the shenanigans or karaoke going on. Well, considering she tried to drive, have me and my wife die in a ditch, I don't think I'll be going. That's going to start a conversation. Well, from what Mary says, and I had to point out, no, I don't know what Mary is saying because she's got me blocked. Okay, she just lowered the boom, and let me know that I've been blocked on her, from chats in her wing. I just find right at. Just saying, Mexican Armin, I cannot trust him again. We might be able to be friendly again, but then he cut us off in the knees without so much as a buy your leave. And it's like I can't trust him anymore. That's what that's all about. And as for Mary, maybe we can rebuild that bridge there, but there's work to be done, and not of it's all on my side. Okay, but yeah, we're getting off into the weeds, okay, and it's already an hour 47, 40, almost an hour 48. Links are up. I don't want to drag this down any more than it already has. So we got the review stuff. I hopefully, if things stabilize, I will get to do a more finished case for Lower Decks, why it is proper Star Trek, why should we regard it as proper Star Trek, and why we all need to lighten the hell up about it being proper Star Trek. How it's not a bad thing to have a lot of references because it's reinforcing the fact that, yes, it's a part of Star Trek. They're not contradicting anything. They're celebrating it. They're having fun with the toys and the toy box. And my voice is going. So, all right. On that note, I think I will get into grind out some Fortnite notes to get some stuff done. But, so let me go ahead and. Oh well. For those tuning in late, son of a Richard, having to resort to a little e-begging again because we're up against it. Not horribly dollar-wise, but just time-wise more than anything because it's mainly thanks to the holiday weekend, I think, because everyone's out of the damn office on Friday when I needed help. And we got a hotel that doesn't want to play games anymore and will not, I'm pretty sure will not give us any slack as far as, but it's kind of a thing where basically our rental assistance people thought they were paying for the entire month. There were emails exchanged that clearly indicated they were supposed to go to the end of April, but somehow it turned into the middle of April, and they're standing by their math. And we ain't got the money to make up the difference to pay it for the end of April. We probably don't even need the end of it. We just need to get through this week, I think. If only because I get paid on Friday, so I can cover a lot of them. It's a matter of they're not going to let us wait until not without a bunch of late fees, which will complicate things even further. So we got the links and didn't start up another fundraiser. And I will put the link to that in the description once I'm through here. But the PayPal link's down below, and if you can't give, folks, pass it around to somebody you can. Somebody's bound to be out there that can throw some bucks our way. Because the parking permit's only good through tomorrow. At which point, then we're in danger of being towed at the worst possible time. Because last time it was a pain in the ass, but it was also right on just a couple days away from when Steph got paid, and it was just a forego a few purchases for a while. Now it would be a bit of a death knell though, because it's too far. It just about $400 if we went over that moment to get the van back, and god awful on the amount of dollar per day they're holding on to it, and then it's way the hell out in Aurora. You'd have to take an Uber, which would be another $20-$30, which we ain't got. So it's a little bit of tap dancing routine here, trying to say, hey, we're the monkeys. Somebody pay us some money.
Okay. Tell bro I just texted him.
Okay, Steph just texted you, bro. And it's just an all, it's like we're in line for an apartment. It's a 2-bedroom. It's in a place in Arvada we want to be in anyway. It's right in our area.
Yeah, right near Costco and Sam's Club.
Not far from Sam's Club and Costco, and in the same general area where we were when this whole shit show started 5 years ago. All right. And, specified time is of the essence, as in like now. PayPal is open 24/7. Okay. We don't have to wait until regular banking hours. Yeah. It would be nice to wake up in the morning. Okay. You got $500 in your PayPal. Okay. I'm running to the front office right now. I'm paying for the week.
Telling them to get stuffed.
And just get us some buffer time in there, and hopefully the other wheels percolate around there, and our caseworker make one last stab and say, hey, you guys promised us it was the end of the month. Okay. In which case I will insist on getting a refund of what I've been paid out, and I'm meant to pay out for all this crap. We get back on track here. Because I even told them I'm trying to get him, look, we don't necessarily need the whole month there, but we need some buffer, we need some time here, but we're waiting on this things, and we've got a place to go ostensibly. We've been by the building a couple of times. It is there. It's okay. It's a kind of an obscure little area, But I don't mind that, frankly. I don't mind a place not be low traffic, that's trains coming up the hill, whatever. Okay. It's like just dealing with everything going to the speed of bureaucracy right now, and plus there's it's Easter weekend. Good Friday. Everyone was out. I sent an email to our caseworker on Friday. It's like, just one last little stab because they're not talking to us. That was the big thing. She said, you got to talk to them. They're not talking to us. Okay. What do I want to say? I've shown them the damn emails where it says end of April. It's like, they don't care. They're sticking by their math. It doesn't occur to them. You guys kind of made a promise to everyone here. I don't know. We haven't gotten that far. I don't care. They got an elevator, apparently. Well, at this point, I don't give a shit. So just get in the place. And the thing that's going to help us in there is the fact that the rental systems have included with a pre-approval letter. Say, look, these people are approved for rental assistance. We will cover the move-in costs, deposits, and the first 2 months of rent with another 3 months in the offing if they need it. Yeah, that's the thing. We've been planning this for a long time. If we got a 2-bedroom, it's like 1 bedroom is for sleeping, 1 is going to be our studio, 1's going to be my little mad scientist lab, where I can do the videos and do model building stuff, and
in a place where you can go play Fortnite.
Do some, and play Fortnite all I want, and she can sleep while she wants to be in the next room. Yeah, and get my own Robservatory. Okay. I can show off my crap on the shelves behind me and say, hi. What? And I think the differential will be the Bobservatory. Okay, let's put it that way. I mean, I've gotten for Five Below. I got a couple of green screens. I'm ready to go with that stuff. Okay. I mean, the circular thing is what would be a gaming. They're supposed to put it behind there. But, unfortunately, the camera angle is such. It's like you still see stuff on the outside. So no real point in that. The other one, I need something to hang it on. Big green sheet. I just need some kind of ring that I'm pretty sure it's big enough. But that seems to be the big thing. If you got a green screen, you're a big time YouTuber at that point. Which when production is like, so what? I could be in a Starbucks for all you know. Okay. I just found a place to tag up the green screen, and now suddenly I'm big time. But I also know the fact that it's clearly a hotel room, and I'm constantly in that hotel. It's holding me back. All right. Well, I think didn't I just get something from you? Is this text or is this Facebook messaging here? I think it's Facebook Messenger. All right, so we got big long right here. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, I can go a little paranormal if you need to. Okay. I'm very much a skeptic on this subject, but I'm not unschooled in it. So. Well, this is back in October. Hold on. This is let's see. Okay, yeah, there we go. That was back in October 2 years ago.
And I just sent Bro another text.
All right.
You might want to explain it.
What text did you say? I don't know what that is.
I said, I gotta say, if you get in an accident in Florida, make sure it's on I-95 near Daytona.
Well, yeah, because one of the texts from that period, or the messages. Okay, all right. We're approaching the 2-hour mark. I'm sure we're testing the patience of anybody who's watching this in replay. So, link just set up. Time is of the essence. Okay.
What?
Yeah, talking about doing basically sketch comedy. We're just gonna have just my head floating around. Just remind me of the Tonight Show segment one time where Jay Leno was having fun with the green screen. I forget who he is over somebody there, and he's hopefully a psychic, and there's just this head, and he comes in basically singing going the Star Trek theme, where it's just this head floating. That's a good one. Leno was having too much fun when he was doing that show. All right, we're wrapping up here. We're 2 hours. So, if you have the patience of Job and have watched all this here, again, links in the below. I'm gonna post the fundraiser down below, and also the regular PayPal. God willing, we'll have enough. Let's make it through till Monday, and we won't be broadcasting from the side of a road somewhere. So we will talk at you later. Let me get that file back up here. That's the thing. Looking all through this crap, but lost where I was. Okay, now where are you? And,
yeah.
Okay.
That is one place I cannot plug it up.
Yeah, actually, Halifax Medical, was it? Yeah.
Yeah, Halifax Medical.
Halifax Medical, Daytona, Florida. That's where they take the drivers from who would get wrecked at the racetrack. It's literally right up the street. But top-notch nurses. One of them probably saved my life from an intestinal thing. But it's also one, because of that, one of the few rare occasions I was actually instructed by the doctor, just go ahead and crap in the bed. We got girls to clean you up. That was a very strange experience. I'll tell you. So, all right, with that, we will talk at you later.